Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. I hope you're all doing well. Today's video is going to be a much more chilled video because I need to give my skin a little break. So I thought let me do like not a Q&A, well it is a Q&A but no one's asking me the questions. I'm actually getting the questions from a pack of cards that I absolutely love. It's the We're Not Really Strangers brand. I'm sure you've seen it online. They always do like those quotes and stuff. But I have all the packs because I love deep conversations. I love talking to people. I love getting to know people. Sometimes I even do them by myself, like the healing pack. I do that by myself. And that's ultimately what I'm going to do today. I'm going to literally answer the questions as if someone is asking me them. So I've got 10 cards here from the level 2 connection part of the original pack. I'm just going to answer them and just talk, and yeah, that's ultimately what today's video is going to be. Also, when you're watching this video, just think about the questions for yourself, how they resonate with you, what your answer would be, because these cards are very thought-provoking and they really make you think, and that's why I absolutely love them. So let's just get right into this because I'm very excited. Okay, so first question, what lesson took you the longest to unlearn? I think the lesson that took me the longest to unlearn was coming to terms with the fact that not everyone has the best intentions and not everyone has good intentions like you do. That is the thing that has been the most difficult to come to terms with, because I am someone that always tries and thinks, I try to be optimistic when it comes to people, and I kind of create scenarios in my head of how people are, instead of looking at the facts and looking at what's actually happening, their actions, what they're doing. So that's kind of been the longest thing, and I wish I had come to terms with this sooner because it could have avoided so many things, but I have come to terms with it now. So yeah, that's been the thing that's taken me the longest to come to terms with and unlearn. And I think as well, when you're someone that thinks like this, people take advantage of you and they know that you think like this, so they might try and create like an illusion, and like you believe the illusion, and then it's like a whole cycle. So yeah, that's kind of been the thing that's taken me the longest to unlearn. Okay, second question, what would your younger self not believe about your life today? I think the thing that strikes me the most is the fact that my job is based off of my physical appearance. When I was younger, I was not confident at all. Like, I have no pictures, I think, from the ages of maybe like 8, from the ages of around 8 till I was 17. I think there's a massive gap in my pictures because I didn't let anyone take pictures of me. I really hated how I looked, and it was mostly down to my teeth. It was my teeth that really made me not feel confident. And so in my photo albums, you know, when you're younger, your parents have all these pictures of you. I don't have any pictures really between that age, unless they were like taken without my consent. But the fact that I'm now being paid practically based on my looks, I don't think I would have believed this when I was younger, because I would have been like, how would I even get to that point where I'm even letting a random person, a random photographer take a picture of me when I won't even let my mum take a picture of me? So that is one thing I don't think I would have believed, just like how confident in myself I've become. I would have definitely not thought this would be my job. I thought I was going to become like an interior designer or a vet or something, not a model. Number 3, is there a feeling you miss? And I don't know what the feeling for this is, but the scenario is, you know, when you're younger and you'd get home from school and you'd literally just walk in and have zero worries, like zero concerns. Your main concern was what you were going to eat, and like you'd literally you wouldn't even know what was going on in the world. Like, that is the feeling I miss. And I feel like even when you're older, like, and you become really successful and you have everything in order, you're still worrying. There's something always to worry about, as much as you try not to. And that is, I just want to be carefree, like happy. And it's really almost near impossible in the society we live in to have no worries, because there's always something going on. but when you're a child, it's just like you're so naive to what's happening in the world, and that's what I miss, just being naive and carefree. Number 4, do you think the image you have of yourself matches the image people see you as? Absolutely not. I actually talk to people about this all the time, and I always ask people, like, what are your thoughts on me? Like, what do you think I am? Not what do you think I am, how do you think I am? Like, when you think of me, what comes to mind? And almost every time people tell me, I just never agree, because I just don't understand how my perception of myself can be so different to what people think of me, because people would describe me as like, okay, so there's different people. So there's people that know me, there's my friends, and then there's like my career people, and then there's like acquaintances, then there's my family. Like, everyone has such a different perception of me, and it's actually something that I brought up to my therapist. So I was like, how do I act so differently around everyone? Why do I change so much? So I feel like it's so hard for me to be one consistent person with everyone, because everyone requires like a different thing from me, if that makes sense. So like at work, I obviously need to be really confident, really outspoken to get things done. And then with my friends, I can be a bit more chilled, but then I'm still like a certain way. And then like, it's just so crazy. So it will just never ever be the same. So for example, I would describe myself as caring, introvert, simple, quiet, like to be around people I actually care about, funny. But then other people have described me in the past as like problematic. And I get why they said that, because the people I was around, or like what I was doing at the time, made me be like that. And that's not who I am deep down inside. Like when I'm by myself, that's not who I am. So it just depends on the person you're asking. But I think the people that really do know me for myself, even my family, I feel like they have a perception of me that is not even me. I think the people that know me truly as myself, I actually don't think there's anyone. I don't think there's anyone that actually I feel like I can be 100% with. Like, I feel like there's always a little bit of a mask going on. I don't think I've ever been around someone and felt 100% how I am by myself. And that's quite scary, because it's not intentional, and it makes me quite upset, actually. This video is starting to feel like therapy. It's getting really deep. It's just making me think, though, about things, and it's actually stuff I need to bring up to my therapist, actually. So when it comes to the question of do I think the perceptions match, I would say no, because I just came to the realization that I've never truly been 100% with someone. It's always been like with my friends, I would say I'm like 85% me, a little bit not. I still keep a lot to myself. And that's actually something I need to work on, because I want to build deeper connections with people. I want to let them know me for me. It's not a case of I'm being fake. It's just I don't know how to describe it, but it's not being fake. It's just I give people what I feel like they require of me, if that makes sense. Next question, are you lying to yourself about anything? The answer is yes. And how do I describe this? I would say I'm lying to myself about how I feel. And the reason why I'm lying to myself, I think, is to protect myself. And it's just a case of, you know, sometimes when you feel a certain way, it's not exactly the right thing for you. For example, you might feel like, I don't know, you want to message someone, but you know it's not going to be good for you in the long run. So even though you feel like that, you know it's not right. And that's exactly like where I am right now. So I'm kind of lying to myself for the better of, how do I say that? I'm lying to myself to better myself. I'm lying to myself to better myself is what I'm trying to say. So I wouldn't say it's a bad lie. It's actually, I think, a good lie. And it's making me think clearly and rationally and objectively. And that's what you need to do, I think, in life. not think so much with your heart and think more with your head. What's the most pain you've ever been in that wasn't physical? I think when it comes to emotional pain for me, it's usually when I don't feel like a sense of safety, and I think that's like a human necessity to feel like safe around people. So like when like trust is broken, that's really painful because your head just automatically goes to how could someone do that, and like you just think of their words and then their contrasting actions or like their contrasting words, and it's just very your brain just does too much. So that's definitely when I hurt the most. I value that a lot. So when it's broken, it really does like affect me. But obviously again, one thing I've had to unlearn is that not everyone is the same as me, so I just have to let it go really. It's just for my own sanity, you just have to let these things go. When you're asked how are you, how often do you answer truthfully? Nowadays, very honestly, if someone asks me how are you and I'm not good, I will say I'm not good. But I think that comes with COVID. I think like since COVID started, it's just been like a whatever. Everyone's going through it, so what's the point in lying? We're all in the same position, so if I'm not good, I'm not good. And there's no shame in that. But sometimes, don't get me wrong, it is just easier to say I'm fine because you might not be in the right space or it might not be the right person you want to talk to it about, so you just say I'm fine. And it's just easier. But if I know that my mood or how I'm feeling is going to affect like a conversation with someone, or if I can't 100% commit to something, then I will let them know that I'm not feeling good instead of just ruining everyone around me and being bad vibes. What do you crave more of? I'm that kind of person that I love being around people that I love. My friends, just anyone that I care for, I love spending time with them, and that's something I've come to terms with. Like I've always thought that I was independent. I am still very independent, but I do value like quality time with people, and I crave a lot of that. I crave a lot of quality time, spending time with people that I care about. So just having that feeling of, you know, people wanting to spend time with me as well and like making an effort with me is something I crave, and I've come to terms with this, that this is something I really do value. When people make an effort with me and want to spend time with me, it shows me that they care as much for me that I do for them. So I really crave attention from people I love, and time, gestures, just anything that shows that they care really. Okay, has a stranger ever changed your life? The first thing that comes to mind is, I'm not going to say her name because I don't want to invade her privacy, but there was this one specific girl that one day, I literally remember it so clearly, and where I was, what I was doing, and I received a DM on Instagram. At this point my Instagram was just like private, it was just people I knew, very normal. And I received a DM from this girl, I'm not gonna say her name, but she basically told me, Jessica, you need to be more confident, like you are blocking your own blessings, kind of thing. Like she gave me a whole speech, and she didn't know me, I didn't know her. We just lived in the same town, but she sent me this message and I remember it so well, and she is ultimately the reason and what gave me the strength and like confidence to do what I do now. She literally kickstarted everything, and she doesn't know this. She has no idea, because I don't even know where she is right now or what she's doing. I don't know any contacts for her. We didn't know each other at all, but she just sent me that, and it's so crazy to me that her words, she has no idea that this did that, but her words literally changed my life. And if anything, I'm grateful for her and I'm thankful that she did that. Otherwise, I don't know what I'd be doing. But yeah, your words really do affect people. This was years ago and it's still stuck with me. So whenever you're saying anything to anyone, be really careful what you say, because things really do stick and you don't remember what people remember that you say. So just be very kind with your words and make sure you choose them very wisely. But yeah, that's one memory I have that someone changed my life. Final question, just to round things off. How are you really? I think right now I am feeling the best I've ever felt mentally. Like, it's the most stable I've ever felt in terms of I am aware of how I feel. I'm not trying to fight everything I feel. And I'm really taking things in, and it's just been very steady. And I really like the space I'm in right now, and I want to continue in this space and just get better. There have been challenges, but I'm trying to, because I'm a very explosive person when it comes to my emotions. Like, I'm very, I wouldn't say erratic is the right word, but I'm very like 0 to 100. Like, it feels like a, what's the word my therapist said? It's like a max, everything's a catastrophe kind of thing. Like, that's usually how I think. It's very, I think everything's a big deal. It's a bigger deal than it is. So that is not where I am now. So that's really good. And I genuinely feel like not a new person, but I feel like I'm genuinely in a different headspace. And with that, I feel like has come a lot of benefits, a lot of good things. So I'm really happy seeing what's going on, how I'm feeling, and seeing how I continue to do this and learning to continue to cope with things as they are happening. Because, you know, therapy is a lot about dealing with the past, but when you're trying to use your coping mechanisms in your everyday life as the situation is happening, it's a different story. It's like completely different. So that is something I've been using and dealing with. So I really take the time to give myself like some space if I need it, and really just collect my thoughts, and it's worked great. So yeah, I would say I'm in a good place. I'm feeling good, everything's going well, my career, everything's going good. So I'm really excited to see what the year brings. And yeah. So yeah guys, that was my little I don't know what to call this, like deep conversation or just we're not really strangers card video. I said on TikTok, if you follow me on there, that this year I want to talk a bit more about things that are just normal. Like, I'm a very private person, but I feel like talking about certain things and like even things that I mentioned in this video are very normal, and I don't need to just keep that away from everyone, because it's just things we all go through, and it's actually really comforting to know that someone else is also going through the same thoughts, whatever it may be. I just want to talk about it and just be more open, like get people to know me and etc, etc. So I'll be doing more of these videos. I feel like I should make this a series, just answering we're not really strangers cards, because they're actually really fun. And you saw how I literally had this conversation by myself. You don't actually need another person. So if you want to like ask yourself questions, you don't have a therapist, I don't know, maybe just get this pack to see if it will help get some thoughts out, and then you can go to therapy, I don't know. Or if you're someone in a group that loves deep conversations, then also get it. I absolutely love them. So yeah guys, I hope you enjoyed this video, and I will see you again in my next one. Bye!